Hey guys, this is PainUser here with Syckness again.
Hey, how's it going?
And this is another replay from Liquid Haypro, our kind of favorite Zerg right now, or as of late. Been doing a lot of real cool stuff, and he's going to be playing in Code A GSL.
I think it's on the 23rd. I'm not too sure about that.
Coming up here real soon, so we expect him to do really well. And yeah, so here's a game between him and TreefOu. Haypro's obviously our red Zerg in the top right spawn, and TreefOu is our blue Terran in the bottom left spawn. So TreefOu sending out, building his first depot at the low ground, and this is a really good strat because you can wall off at the bottom of your ramp, and not only does it give you the option to double wall your ramp in case of banelings or something like that, it also denies the drone scout from getting into your base really early on and prevents him from really seeing anything of importance in the early game. So I think a lot of Zergs find it really annoying, and it gives you the ability to hide tech. Like, you know, a lot of people will drop a barracks here and then like hide 2 Raxes back here and then do some kind of Marine SCV all in if they see the Zerg 15 hatch. Or, I mean, there's a number of things you can do with it that are really good.
Yeah, and the Zerg is deciding to 15 hatch here. And, you know, I think against Terran, that's a good thing to do nowadays. And speaking from a Zerg point of view, yeah, the bottom ramp wall is just so annoying. You really have just no idea. You're in the blind. You're just blind to what they're doing. So it's really good for the Terran to do that. And, yeah, if I had to guess, I would say Haypro is making it to top 8 in Code A, maybe top 4, possibly final 2. It really depends, though, if he gets cheesed or not, I feel like. But anyway, back to the game. You know, it's really standard play from Zerg here. He's getting his pool down. You know, no gas yet. He's going to get gas pretty soon, but he's just trying to see what the Terran's up to right now.
Pretty standard play from our Terran as well. Just finished his orbital command. Gonna go ahead and drop that first mule. He's dropping a bunker here. I think this is really just to scare Haypro into pulling a bunch of drones, but Haypro intelligently only pulls 5. It's just enough to deal with some early Marine pressure. There's only 1 Marine on the way. Second one's coming. Another good thing about putting your racks on the low ground here is your racks is just that much closer to the Zerg. 15 hatch. So, oh, and that first Marine gets surrounded, taken out before the bunker even finishes. Haypro pulling 2 drones on the bunker here. Might not be such a good idea to let that bunker. Oh, and he'd already killed the SCV anyway. I thought it might have been in there squirming around building the bunker, but it was already dead. So TreefOu is gonna pull back, but he's already dropped his command center and he's adding double gas at this point. So we're definitely gonna see some kind of quick factory, possibly 2 factories into pre-igniter Hellions. A lot of people like to get a reactor and a tech lab on their factories, get pre-igniter Hellions, and just pump out a crap ton of Hellions, especially if your opponent is prone to making a lot of Zerglings early on in the game, which a lot of Zergs are, and we all know how pre-igniter Hellions do against Zerglings. So it's really cost efficient in the early and mid game.
Yeah, it's not pretty for the Zerglings. And I do like that bunker play. Even though he was just 1 Raxing, it kind of it's going to throw any Zerg off, really. Like, you have to think, how many Raxes does he have hidden behind his base? And the fact that you have to pull 5 drones just stops so much mining time. It allows the Terran to, you know, stay in the macro game, even when he does early hatch. And he was able to just drop a CC in his base right after that. So, you know, it just throws the Zerg off. He doesn't know if you're going to be all in here. He doesn't know what you're doing, really, and he's forced to pull drones. So, overall, it's a good thing to do, I think.
And our Terran is, in fact, dropping 2 factories, 3 factories, actually.
A lot of factories, yeah.
That's a real aggressive play from him. I don't know that you can support 3 factories. You might actually be able to. Usually when I do the 2 factory build, I end up with a lot of excess resources anyway that I don't really know what to do with. I kind of just make Marines off my single racks, which he's doing. I usually add a bunker, maybe 2 bunkers at my natural, but even still, I still have an excess of minerals. So he's probably just going to pump Hellions real hard. Yeah, he's getting a reactor, getting that tech lab up. This reactor is going to take days. I think I don't know that you can safely do this, but using the barracks to build the add-ons for your factories, like the barracks can start the reactor like way early, and then you can just swap those out. But it leaves you open for some kind of speedling or baneling all-in or something along those lines. So it's really dangerous, but it's definitely something you can do on certain maps, and I think it's really good.
Yeah, I agree. And Haypro's getting a pretty early lair, pretty early for gas, so that's telling us that he's probably going to get an early pack of mutas out. And against this play, I think it can be pretty effective. The muta ball is always a scary thing for the Terran, that's for sure. And especially if he's committing so hard to Hellions early. As long as Haypro can deny most of this Hellion harass, which is for sure going to be coming within the next couple of minutes, he's going to have a big pack of Hellions, and he's going to have to find a way to deal with that. And he should either use roaches, spine crawlers, or queens, or a mixture of those. But he's getting his third base now, which I like. His spire's already a third of the way done almost. And he's got a lot of drones out. I think he's doing pretty well as far as the income tab goes.
Yeah, he's definitely doing a good job. Pre-Igniter's about to finish. Looks like Pre-Igniter's about to finish, and I like him taking his third here. He's going to get these early mutas out. You definitely need mutas or roaches to deal with a gigant like this. Mutas are good because they can kind of keep up with the Hellions. They're a little bit slower, but you can kill them with a pack of mutas. With roaches without speed, it's a little bit harder, but looks like TreefOu is just going to go straight for the ramp here. The queens are a little bit out of position. He gets straight into the main. Haypro had his Zerglings positioned around his main. It's natural to try and deal with this, but loses all those speed links. And whether or not TreefOu kills a ton of drones right here, I think it's still pretty cost effective just because he killed, a billion Zerglings. And it looks like at the natural, he's just roasting some drones right now with these two Hellions over here that were sending around the back that whole time. And he just didn't really micro this on the pack of drones here that was at the natural. He could have killed all those drones. So I guess it's hard to multitask that many Hellions at once, but Haypro did a really good job minimizing his losses right there. He could have just straight up lost the game.
That's very true. I mean, when you break up Blue Flame Hellions into packs of 2, and you have, well, even one of them was maybe a pack of 5 or 6, then he had 2 other ones, little 2 packs, and they're just going to, one-shot drones. But I think a lot of what actually saved Haypro from just completely dying right there was his building placement. He blocks the back of his minerals so the Hellions just can't run around freely. And also, TreefOu, you didn't have the best micro there, but he's still, look at the harvester count now. The TreefOu, even without the best micro, he killed so many Zerglings, so many harvesters. That was just so effective against what Haypro is doing. Maybe he knew he was going mutas, maybe he didn't. I don't know, we didn't check to see the scans, but that is very effective. The early Blue Flame harass is just a nightmare for the Zerg.
Meanwhile, TreefOu is still pumping out a lot of mech units. I really like that. I don't see any reason why he should stop. I'd love to see him get an early vehicle weapons upgrade. It's really nice when you're going any form of mech, whether it's biomech or just hard mech or whatever. The mech upgrades are stellar for mech. It's really good. Hellions get a great bonus on that. Siege tanks get a great bonus. Thors get a great bonus. They really benefit from those upgrades. And once you get like 3/3 mech or mech with +3 attack, the Zerg just has to play so carefully. Like, he can lose his entire army with a single misclick. And it just makes it really difficult for him. And I don't think it's that terrifying when you're going up against mech that has 0 upgrades, especially if you've been upgrading. Like, your units can actually hang, but once the Terran reaches that 3 upgrade on his mech, it's just pretty disgusting. His units do a ridiculous amount of damage. But TreefOu is actually switching into a bit of bio here. He's actually gotten stim and combat shield. It looks like he's going to be adding a ton of marines and use marines to kind of fill up that void with the minerals. Like, he's spending his gas on mech units, so he's going to have a lot of extra minerals, and it looks like he's just going to be burning that on marines. I kind of like that. He's also doing some Hellion harass over here.
Oh.
4th. Haypro burrows a bunch of drones,
but they all died.
Yeah. And they were all burrowed in a line, which sucks. So
yeah, it's too bad. So it's just, he's continuing the harassment, the Terran is, and that's really good to do. And he's got Thors in his base, so Haypro's not able to do much harass. He's trying, units here and there, which is good. It's pretty much all he can do right now. He's gonna maybe poke in over here, see what he can see what he can maybe pick off a building or two. But for now, he's focusing on upgrades. He's getting air armor, ground attacks, baneling speed. Those are all great upgrades to get against the Terran.
This guy's finally getting +1 on his mech. Love to see that. Zerg's also getting a bunch of upgrades here. He's getting carapace, Zerg, flyer carapace, Zerg melee. Getting some banelings here, getting baneling speed. The Terran's adding a Raven. I like this, even though Haypro's not really using burrowed roaches. You can use it to snipe creep tumors.
Burrowed banelings too.
Yeah, burrowed banelings as well. So a lot of Terran players have actually been getting Ravens, especially when they're meching against Zerg lately. I don't see any reason not to. It's a great unit. It's versatile. If you have no other uses for it than just dropping auto turrets, those are good as well.
Clearing creep.
And yeah, clearing creep is always nice. I don't know about getting an orbital command at the gold here as your third. It's doable if you're just like really confident that he's not gonna be harassing this expo a ton. But really, Haypro could just exploit that. You could continuously run a few banelings in here, or just run Zerglings in and force these tanks to just blast all these SCVs. Like you just keep sending one Zergling at a time, or just a small group, and literally kill all those SCVs as many times as you wanted. But a lot of Zerg players, I don't think, would realize that right away. But the Planetary Fortress is great for just killing like a couple lings coming in like that, and it makes it so the tanks don't shell all your own units. They're also great for killing banelings and stuff. So, and just mass repairing a PF at the gold here is like a bitch to deal with, I'm sure, for a lot of Zerg players. I like the burrowed banelings right here, though, just in case of some kind of a push.
Oh yeah, I like that for sure. And more harass. And they're just paying off so well. He's killing so many drones. I wonder how many drones he's killing. It's just so many. It's kind of ridiculous. Look at those units lost for the Zerg. Ouch.
Yeah, that's never fun. I'm sure a lot of that's lings, but I'm sure a lot of that's drones as well. This Blue Flame Hellion has been quite the destructive force.
At least 30 drones, I'd say.
And it looks like he's finally going to get those roaches and burrowed roach movement, because roaches burrowed roaches especially are great against mech. They do really well against mech, especially if there isn't a Raven. But there is a Raven out, and the mech is not very well upgraded. So that's one thing that Haypro's going to really be. It'll allow him to deal with the mech a lot easier. But Jesus, Terran is launching a almost maxed push right here, straight to the gold of Haypro. And it looks like Haypro's just building up, trying to get ready for this. He sees what's coming his way, and honestly, man, if I was a Zerg player and I saw something like this, I would just be absolutely horrified at this point in the game.
Yeah, he's now maxed, so what can Haypro do here? This is not looking great. And Haypro is not close to max. He's at 167. He needs to delay. He needs to max out and try to trade efficiently. But that many tanks, that many Marines, Thors. It's a great composition from the for sure.
Yeah, it's a really good unit composition from the Terran. And it looks like Haypro's just going to go in on that. The Marines were a little bit extended. He doesn't manage to pull out the tanks. Wow. And the Banelings just detonate on all those Marines right there. The Thors just got stopped, microed. They weren't really able to clean anything up, and he cleans up all the tanks with his mutapack. He still has a mutapack that's like 20 strong, if a couple more.
Yeah, that was a really good trade for the Zerg. Terran didn't really micro those Marines very well. He kind of just got them all killed by those Banelings, which was kind of lucky on his part. But he dealt with that really well. So he's deflected one of the main 200-200 pushes of the Terran. So that's good for him. He needs to retake his bases now. He's taking that gold, which is good. But Terran on 3 base, it's really strong. It's hard to deal with.
Yeah, anytime you're able to deflect a Terran push like that and just straight up crush it as Zerg, I think that puts you in a really good situation to sit back, macro, retake your gold, take a fifth. And he's just really secure right now. He's in a great position. He's finally got some spine crawlers up all around his original third.
Get out of here, Hellions.
That Hellion harass is just destroying him. And he stopped upgrading for now. I think he's at 1-0 or 2-0 on his melee, and Terran is upgrading level 2 weapons on both his infantry and his mech units. I really like that. be honest, he could be at 3-0 right now, or he could even have an extra envy bay or an extra armor